Hey everyone, here we are today for a short warm up. And I hesitate because every time I say that, I usually get a little too excited and the warm up is not short, but I'm going to do my best to stick with it. This is a lovely program that I recommend to almost all of my clients just to sort of get going in the morning. Summer's coming. And often we feel the pressure to, be active and the weather is beautiful and we put pressure on ourselves to get out there and enjoy it. But then it's too hot to do anything. So this is a great small program you can use to start your day. The evidence shows that a little bit of movement in the morning helps boost our mood for the rest of the day. It wakes up all of our various bodily systems and gets our circulation going. And it can be a nice ritual to just kind of step into your day doing the same kind of thing. So we don't have to think about it. We don't get that analysis paralysis, as they call it, decision-making overload. We're going to do movements of the spine. We don't have to really think about it. We don't have to do too much. We're going to breathe and flow. We're going to go through our various spinal movements. We're going to start with a neutral spine. It's not really a spinal movement. We're going to do lateral flexion, extension, forward flexion, and rotation. Just for fun and variety, today I'm on a stability ball, so that even though we're doing the same thing that you're going to do if you come and take pretty much any yoga class with me, know that we can always switch it up. These movements can be done standing, seated, sitting on the floor, sitting in a chair, sitting on an exercise ball, and maybe I'll make another video. There's sort of a Pilates variation to these that you can do lying on your back. And in a typical yoga class, we do them on all fours as well. Okay, enough talk. I said this would be a short video. Let's get going. We'll start with a neutral spine. So let's slide those shoulder blades down towards our back pockets. Long neck, like a beautiful swan. Option to close the eyes here. And let's put our minds into our bodies while we breathe, noticing how is your spine doing today? There's often an image of a spiral staircase, a string of pearls. Maybe we like to see our spines like that. Maybe we're picturing our bones. Maybe we're picturing just a straight line, whatever makes sense to you. To feel your spine out with your mind-body connection and noticing how your spine is doing today. So it's not just our back. Our spines extend way down to our tailbones. Maybe something we never think about. Maybe we want to place our hands there to bring our awareness and energy there. Noticing any sensation, or maybe no sensation at all, and that's what we're noticing. Moving our awareness up through our sacrum and low back, seeing what's happening there. Maybe a little tougher to reach, moving our way up to our thoracic spine, the spine of our rib cage. Maybe we want to take one hand top, one hand bottom, depending on what our mobility is like. Noticing our cervical spine, the spine of our neck, right up to the base of our skull. That's where our back muscles attach. And then we can release our hands, take one more breath here, saying to ourselves, I have a healthy spine. And we can open the eyes and we're ready to wake up our spines. So let's go ahead. And I always like to start side to side. So we can take our hands and reach down to one side and then the other. So if you are seated on the floor, it can be nice to stretch your arm out, glide along the floor if you can reach that. And depending on our range of motion in our shoulders today, we might like to be reaching overhead with our opposite hand supporting ourselves on the floor or the chair, maybe supporting ourselves on our thigh. And we are just taking that spine side to side. So whether you pictured it as a string of pearls, a slinky, a thermometer, however you see your spine, we are taking it side to side, maybe picturing it as the letter C, And then a backwards letter C, like the Chanel logo. Maybe our spines are quite fancy. I don't know. Maybe you don't see any images. You notice how you are feeling. Expanding our rib cage and our underarms as we breathe in. Are we still grounded, connected with the earth, noticing all parts of our body that are on the surface beneath you, floor or chair? And can we move in a speed that feels good? Since we are going into the warmest season of the year, if you live near me, that is the fiery season. So let's see if we can move in a cool way. Maybe imagining like we are dripping cool water onto ourselves as we reach overhead. Okay, we'll go once more each way. And no need to rush to catch up. And it's okay if you were done before me. Let's come back to center. Let's do flexion and extension, front and back. You can stay exactly as you are. I'm going to turn sideways to show you. The fun of sitting on a stability ball is that they move as we go. And this can actually be quite nice for the movement of our pelvis. If you're on a chair, your bum may kind of slide along the fabric of the chair. But if you are in a stability ball, we can roll with it. If you're standing up, well, then you've got nothing stopping you. You just keep on moving. So we are doing our seated cat and cow. Tucking our tail might help to hold on to your pelvis and notice that that tailbone moves. Remember, I said our spine goes all the way down to our tailbone. Our tailbones are tucking under. Maybe we're feeling light through the front of the hip and thigh in that case. Lengthening out the low back, lengthening at our mid back. It's a little harder to reach. And then we are lengthening our cervical spine as well as we're tucking our chin nice and smooth down the back of the neck. Let's go the other direction. We are untucking our tailbone. So if your tailbone is underneath you, let's bring it in behind you. We are shortening the muscles of our back because we're super strong, lengthening our abs, lifting our hearts. And even though we lift, let's make sure the back of the neck is still smooth. Very confident, tall, proud posture. Okay, we'll flow back and forth, moving in a way that feels good for you. Everyone's body's a little different. Let's see if we can still embody that sense of cool water, fluid motion while we go. You may like to move more slowly to think about all those little bits and pieces as they go from tail to crown. Or you might do a lot of cat and cow and you have your own little personal practice you want to go with. Perfect. You have that artistic license to go. I'll give us one more option if I haven't overloaded us enough already. We can reach forward with cat, getting more stretch for the back line of the body, and then reach back with cow, getting more strength for the back line of the body. Let's keep going. And then we're going to pause in our cow shape. So it's lovely that we can get this great release and stretch down the back, but we always want to reset the strength of our back muscles in cow pose. Again, sliding shoulder blades towards our back pockets, noticing the strength of our backs. We're shortening the muscles in the back, contracting them. As we breathe, maybe feeling chest expand, ribs opening forward, and heart rising. And let's go ahead. We'll come back to neutral. We are ready for rotation. So as we rotate, ideally, we start from that neutral spine that we started from. Some of us will have more or less curvy backs. Some people, for whatever reason, have like really straight spines, and then some people have really curvy spines. It's okay. We honor our bodies, but let's find our own personal neutral. And here's a tip. If we're in neutral and we breathe, we should be able to feel expansion of our lungs, front, side, and back. So we might want to take our hands to our ribs, or one hand forward, one hand back. We know we're out of alignment if you feel expansion only in the back, only in the front, and then we probably won't feel expansion only in the sides. But if that's you, let's encourage breath movement front and back. and we rotate. Let's start with our hands apart. And we're going to twist with strength. So our thumbs will stay touching our sternum. We're going to pull from our abdominal muscles and twist, 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 twist. Might not go that far. We come back through center, and then we pull from our abdominal muscles and twist the other way. So sometimes this is less satisfying than if you're used to grabbing your leg and like torquing yourself into it. But we're moving from a different kind of inner support and strength. Both are okay, but I always like to do this one to build our inner fire. So our internal core strength is pulling up and in, and we're moving from the strength of our abs to help us twist. And we don't often think this, but we're actually moving from the strength in our back to pull us into the twist too. So as we're twisting to the right side of the back is pulling us into the twist. And as we're twisting to the left side of the back is pulling us into the twist. We can add on by pulling a bow and arrow back. Really feeling the shoulder blade pull back as we go. Sometimes that's a missed opportunity in our twists. We think so much about our abs or turning the head as we go that we miss out on that posture correction of pulling back in the back of the shoulder. And if the head wants to naturally follow, go for it. If that makes you dizzy, we just keep the eyes forward. If you're getting out and walking or running a lot with the nice weather, something to think about. As we walk, we do this kind of movement, rotation of the upper body, but the head stays pointing forward, of course, so we can see where we're going. Okay, if we want that really deep, big twist, this next round through, okay, fine, we can use our hands. If you're sitting in a chair, you can hold the back of the chair or the arm of the chair. If you're sitting on an exercise ball or the floor like me, yeah, we can use the floor or our own bodies to help us twist. Inhaling, remembering our spine is tall, and exhaling, pulling in our power center, drawing our abdominal muscles towards our back, imagining we can pull our back towards our abdominal muscles. And we'll go ahead and reset on the other side. Let's twist. Take a couple breaths in and out. Sometimes because we've twisted, it's tough to take a deep breath in. That's okay. We'll come back through center and take a nice deep breath together. Okay, come back and join me. As promised, let's take a nice deep breath together. And we'll bring hands to heart. There we go. How'd I do? Was it a quick morning warm-up? I hope so. Thanks for joining me. Have a good day.